were given one wish from a genie, and the wish was told to you that either you can have Chris Brown's career or Usher's career, who are you choosing and why?
Usher, hands down. First of all, he's the only person I can sing at karaoke. Chris Brown is way out of range for my vocal ability.
Okay.
But Usher for sure. I mean, the way I see him is pre-Chris Rock slap. He's the Will Smith of R&B. Like clean cut career, ladies love him, successful as hell. Everyone loves him actually. And you can't go wrong.
Well, there was a phase though, right? There was a phase where like the whole herpes thing and like that was a thing.
Yeah.
Like that was.
But wasn't that kind of like an urban legend type thing though? Like it wasn't confirmed. It was like back when people used to say Mountain Dew fucking like made your dick smaller or whatever. Remember in like middle school there was some rumor like that.
But this was, I mean, again, but this is also a rumor you just don't want to be associated with, right? So true or not, there was something going around that this man has herpes and you don't want to get kissed in the cheek by him or something. So like that was a thing. But regardless, go back to what you're saying.
No, I hear you on that. I mean, as I was thinking about his career, that came to mind. But I feel like that was like a 2-month thing.
Yeah. That was a blip. That wasn't a complete setback or something. Sure.
And if we're being honest, there's millions of women who would be willing to catch that shit just to have a chance with him. But musically and career-wise, you know, he's goated in terms of how clean he's been able to keep it, coupled with his success. It seems like it was a relatively stress-free experience. The man signed Bieber. That alone is like goated. And he's performing at Super Bowl. Has the residency in Vegas. Like, what isn't there to love?
And that's just right now, right? Because think about it. I think his first few hits came out like in the late 90s, like My Way and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Bro, that's what, 26, 27 years ago. So we're going on a almost 3-decade, if not 4 run. Yeah, well, so I agree, dude. I think it's Usher hands down, right? Like, again, like, it's just the career, the trajectory, the highs, right? Like, go back to Confessions and also that song with, what's the Ludacris and Lil Jon song? Yeah. So,
I almost said Lovers and Friends, which is technically another one.
Also a goated song, right? But like, dude, like that was a moment in music, bro. You heard in a car and like everyone just like started bopping from like blocks away, right? Like, dude, this guy's highs are insane. But it's crazy how I think most people would pick Michael Jackson. But yet, I think most people...
You mean Chris Brown?
Sorry, Chris Brown. Most people would pick Usher. I apologize. Most people would pick Usher.
Oh, okay.
Like if we ask everyone that question, I think most people today would pick Usher. But I also think it's wild because I think today, when you say who's the closest thing to Michael Jackson, everyone's saying Chris Brown, right? Yeah. And I think it's just like a weird thing where it's like, I don't think both things can be right, or maybe they can be, but it's just odd though, right? Because Mike is the GOAT. Right, is the status. And I don't know if we're just saying that there's a caveats to it, right? Like Chris Brown is the closest thing to Michael from like a performer, entertainer aspect, right? But when I think of Michael, I think about all of it, bro. I think about the hits, the moments, the dancing, the controversy, all of it. But dude, if I had to choose a career, if I'm between Usher and Chris Brown, like I'm taking Usher all day, bro. And I would even... It's sad though, man, because I really think the biggest thing that holds Chris Brown's career from getting to that level is that controversy, right? And unfortunately, like him being 19 years old or 18 years old, however the fuck he was, drunk, stupid, and that thing with Rihanna just kind of left like a black eye on his career. And I don't. Again, there's been moments where like he has bangers and we love it, and we listen to his songs and we enjoy it. But I think there's always just like this reservation of like, what could have been. And that's why I think most people would still pick Usher over him.
For sure. I feel like the Michael Jackson comparisons are more so tied to Chris Brown just because one, Chris Brown's generally more present and just constantly pumping out music. I think he's even I mean, he's always applauding Michael Jackson and, you know, referring to him as his biggest inspiration and doing the tributes and stuff. So just through that association, I think that makes Chris Brown top of mind for Michael Jackson. And then I think Chris Brown, at least over the course of his career, has been more like versatile in the genres he's tapping into. Like more recently, he's doing Afro beats, and then he's doing pop, and he's rapping and just doing a billion things. I think it's almost like they're using Michael Jackson as a synonym for just like multi-talented or something. Like it's not even necessarily that, you know, he's better than Usher, but he's just so goated in a lot of ways that I think Michael Jackson's just kind of, he's like kind of the person that makes the most sense for some people. And maybe even his vocals, like his range and stuff has something to do with it too. But I feel like besides the Rihanna incident, Chris Brown's also kind of associate, like at a certain point in time, like steered towards the bad boy image and things, and like was more involved in like the street shit, even musically, like associating with certain people. So I feel like that alone also like kind of makes it difficult to compare him or say like that the Rihanna situation is the only thing that kind of holds him back in that regard. I feel like there are other events and altercations and blood affiliation and all kinds of shit that just kind of made it seem like an invalid comparison. But yeah, I think Usher's the clear winner in terms of someone who had a career trajectory that wasn't so rocky. But I do commend Chris Brown for overcoming all that bullshit, because
100%.
99% of people could never do that. And the fact that he's as big as he is now proves how insane and popular that guy is.